Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Metroid. Let's play Super Metroid. In the last episode we started off the game, we got our missiles, we got bombs, we got the morphing ball as it's called, not morph ball, which I think is odd. And we also set ourselves to the wrong control scheme, so it's a little hard to shoot and run at the same time. Not the end of the world, but did notice that. And I'm like, wait, I should have ended at the save point so I could go switch that, but no save point. So it's another episode of playing with the weird control scheme, which is fine. So, in this episode, I'm going to hopefully, for one, show off bomb jumping. That is the goal of today. And then we're going to go ahead and look around, see if we can get some stuff. There's a couple things I want to show off, if I can. First and foremost, let's go over to this area, back to where we first landed. And I want to show that if you go back to your ship, it is actually a place to go ahead and save. So if you hit down here, you'll go into your ship, save, and it will recharge all of your equipment. So your missiles, your energy, all of that. Now there's going to be a real quick cut here because I'm going to go ahead and switch the controller around because I don't like this current button layout, so I'll be back in just a second. And with that, I'm back. With any luck, this should be a little bit more natural. I switched essentially the jump and the shoot button. So now that jump is on Y on the Pro controller and shoot is on B. So it just feels a little bit natural to me. So first of all, I'm going to see now with this, if I can do that wall jumping here. It's a little bit harder. So when you have an angle like that, you see you hit your head essentially. You have to be it's really difficult to do those one-sided wall jumps there. Now what you could do, see if I can do it. I don't remember yeah, there you go. Is bomb jumping. And it's all about timing here. I don't remember the timing. So give me a couple of seconds to try to figure out the timing. And then I'll try to show off what you can do with this. So there you go. That's a good show off of bomb jumping right there. Essentially what I'm doing, and I forgot how hard it is, but you drop a bomb and then a few seconds later you drop the second one. You just keep doing it so you go up. Now the timing I don't quite know. I'm doing it just like based off of a feeling, like what I feel is right. But before essentially the first one explodes, you want to drop the second one. Now you could do that. Let me see if I can do this here. I'm not going to be able to do this actually, not on this remote. I just realized if it was a D-pad, probably. Or not, I'm not going to say probably. I'm bad at video games. But maybe. What you can do is you can jump, go up into Morph Ball, and then drop a bomb. With this jump, maybe when we get the high jump, I'll be able to do it. But that's a bit more comfortable because then your rhythm doesn't change based off the first and the second shots. Or not shots, but that first bounce when you're on the ground like this, the timing is a little bit different for the rest of them. So you see, like there I did it, but the timing between the first and second hit there is just different enough that it would cause issues. Now if I wanted to go back down to the ground and go ahead and grab that, what would you call it, that energy tank, way down the bottom, it would be a chance for me to go do that with bomb jumping, but you're actually supposed to do that later in the game, so I'm not going to worry about getting that too much. I don't think there's anything too difficult warranting sequence breaking at this point. We use bombs right here and we can get through that wall. Now that's the first obstacle that you'll find as far as things you can't actively see is you have bomb blocks. Bomb blocks can only be destroyed by bombs. I don't remember if they have missile blocks in this game, but they do have fall down blocks, which are awful. It's like the hidden blocks in Mario. Despite what you say, it's just bad. No one likes hidden blocks. If you like hidden blocks, you're a very sadistic creator of the game. And here we have an energy tank. So for every energy tank, you get essentially another 100 life, which is, in times like this, when you're taking a lot of hits and you're weak and puny, that's very important. Also, we can't kill these guys with that. We need the missiles. Now, some people, again, very conservative about using supplies. For me, I'm like, yeah, I have missiles. I'll just use them. If I need to grind out some extra missiles, that's fine. There's not really any reason to come into this room over here, but I'll show it off for the time being. This is one of those rooms that, if you've played the game before, that you'll likely just skip. There's not a lot of reason to come in here. But if you come over to here, you'll notice that, oh, that's scary. These are the bosses of the game, which means, this is probably important later into the time. And again, I'll try to point this out as we go later into the game, as we see each and every one of them, and become best friends. Now, I just realized I wasn't thinking about this too much, but there was a couple of, I think just one. Might have just been one power-up I could have gone in that first area. It was a missile tank. But I'm not going to worry about it too much when we go back to criteria. I think that's what it is, or whatever. What's the name of the area? Oh, boy. Yeah, criteria. When we go back to criteria, I'll go ahead and pick it up. But there was a missile pack I could have gone there. So if you guys are interested in knowing where that is, I can even show it off. You know that one room where I had to, I turned back because it was bombable? In that room, you can see it's like right in the center right now with the little dot in it. You know, there's actually, I believe, a missile pack in there, but we'll go ahead and just grab that later on. Now, these things are like really nice to get energy from, but, you know, not too important. We don't really need any of the supplies, so you can just jump over those all the same. We actually took more damage than anything else. And with that, you know, let's take the elevator down to a new area. Something that's, I don't believe, in any of the old games. Going to Brinstar. Hear that music? I'm always a fan of good music in video games. So, but anyways, let's go and find our way down. So you can see all the doors here are missile doors. And if I go here, I want to say, these are power bomb slots. You'll see this marker later on a lot. So later in the game, we'll get power bombs. That's important to keep a note of, however. Now, one thing I want to do, probably, I don't remember exactly which room goes where, but there should be a room here that is important. Actually, it might be this one. I just remember that it's one of the doors that goes off to the right. And remember, I only have enough missiles to open 2 doors, so I do have to be careful. It's not this one. This is where we ultimately want to go. I'm going to see if I can find this room because I want to point something out. And I think it's, no, I think it's in here. It might be later on, but I want to say it's in this little section here, this vertical hallway. What would you call this? Oh, God. Does this be a hallway? I guess it would be. Oh, God. Please don't hurt me. Don't hurt my body. Maybe it's this one. Will you give me a missile? You do. Thank you. It might be this one. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it is. So, this is what's known as the mock ball room. It's a big speedrunning trick, and it allows you to get a certain power up very early. I'm going to try to grind these guys out just a little bit. Not if I take up hits, but I'm going to explain what you do. So, going to morph ball, you have a set speed, and if you come up to here and try to run over, you're not fast enough. You get blocked off, and there's a missile pack you can get here. Well, there's a trick that you can actually keep your running speed while in morph ball, and that's called mock ball. Now, I don't remember the full specifics of doing it, but essentially you start in this room out here. You open up the door and face right. And again, this might not be fully correct, so don't believe me 100%. You hold down the run button and then start running through the room. And as you're jumping, I've already screwed up, but right before you enter into the door, you're supposed to go ahead and hit the jump button. Now, while you're in midair, you're going to hit down once, hit it again, let go of the run button, and then continue moving to the right. And that will give you just enough speed to go ahead and get into or get under that thing. And it gives you a power up much, much earlier than you're otherwise supposed to have it. So I'm just going to quickly grind out the last couple, just a little bit of energy here. I'm not going to go ahead and be doing the trick. I just want to show off. Maybe I will try it one more time just because, it's been long enough. So I have my hands essentially like a cat's cradle, but run button is down, running, and then the second before, see, now I did it too early. Yeah, just a hair too early there. So it's one of those things, if I did it long enough, sure, but we're not focusing on speed ranking. I'm just going to do it one more time because I'm interested to see if I can, yeah, no, it's because there I screwed up the jump. So, I'm not going to worry about it too much, but that is that trick right there. That's a big speedrunning trick that you will hear all the time because, a lot of speedrunners use it. It's very important to that run. At least I believe it still is. It was a long time ago. It's very important to that run as far as, completing it. Let's go into this room. I don't remember if we can do everything in here. One of the things I'm looking forward to get is there's a power-up later on called Charge Shot that you can just always kind of hold the shoot button down, and that's nice to have. Can we get through here? I'm trying to remember I don't remember what's at the end of this pathway. We go into here. Oh, it's the map room. So not overly important, but at least it's nice to have. And this is criteria. Or not criteria, this is Brinstar. Does it show? Okay, it does. So you see that there's the boss areas as well. That's important. There will be points where, you don't know what to do and you're looking like, I don't have a power-up. That probably means that either you need to be looking for an area that would have a upgrade of some sort, or a lot of times there's upgrades hidden behind bosses. So maybe look for the next boss. And of course, you know, progression in a game like this is relevant to the bosses that you are fighting. Let's see if we can kill these guys, just get a little bit of that energy back. Actually, we have to, because we're locked behind the door otherwise. And then, have I actually showed off a save room yet? I think I skipped the one in Criteria. Go into here, and you'll see we have a save room. So, now in the modern era where we have emulation, especially, oh my, not essentially, especially Switch emulation, which Nintendo has said is okay to emulate these old games on their own console, which they released, is that you can save at any point. But save rooms are important to keep note, more so because they allow you to know when things are coming up that might be important. So here, this is another thing. So these little bugs, you kill them, the room becomes a lot darker. Now, there is a power-up you'll get later on that makes rooms like this a lot easier. Nice thing to note, if you leave the room and come back, however, they're all back. So you don't have to worry so much about, you know, you've killed all of them and then it's so difficult to get through the room. Now, if I remember correctly, you can just fall down. Like, you can jump from that big platform that's right, like the very right platform. You can just jump down there and not worry about the spikes. Spikes do a lot of damage in this game, so keep that in mind. So this is a recharge room. This recharges your missiles. Now, granted, we had full missiles, so that was actually completely useless, but that is something to keep in mind. And that will become important later on when you have not just 15 missiles, but you have 100 missiles and you're going off to go fight something. Those become useful, even though I don't ever remember really utilizing them that much beyond the ship. I do remember using the ship a lot. Anyways, let's move forward. Go through here, and we're in a place where everything seems to be at least a little bit decaying. So, just run through here. Again, these rooms feel so slow, and you guys will know why. People who have played this game will know why they feel slow. Now, go through here, blom through all this, and we make our way into the new area. Right down here is a little hard. That's a speed booster. Another power-up will be later on, but just keep in mind that, again, we can't do stuff with those blocks yet. If you see them, just ignore them. Get into a really big room right here. Now, there is a couple of things you can do here. I'm going to start just going from the top, because I don't think there's anything we can really do from the top. We go up here. Because the way to progress is actually down. If we go up to the top, though, I believe the door up here is something we don't have yet. Oh, no, we can go through here. I was thinking that this was a power bomb door, but apparently I'm wrong. Where does this go? I remember not liking those guys a lot. I remember there's one room specifically where they're a big old pain. So we need to go ahead and kill everything here to move forward. I'm just going to use missiles because it's otherwise a pain. Again, one of those things that, if you have the missiles, especially if there's so many of those enemy spawners early in the game, I think it's just worth it to go and use them. So what is over here? I don't remember this. Oh! I was thinking this was down! Oh my! Surprise! We have a boss! So, this is something, you just kind of crouch in the corner and you're usually fine. You kill the little spawns here for more missiles. I need to be careful not to be hit too much. Are you going to open up? Yeah, and then you go ahead and fire a couple. Usually, I think you can get 2 missiles in there is how many you can get through, like, a round. You just fire 2 missiles in there and he's, like, done. And you can see the door on the bottom is actually green. Usually, bosses like this, they'll have, the doors will be like the locked gray is the color. I was thinking, what's the word for gray in English? Because I was thinking hairu, which is what it is in Japanese. I'm like, no, bad, wrong language. But here you could actually, if you have that power up, which, as I had said before, you can get that power up early. That's the power up you get for skipping this boss. That you can go ahead and open that door in this fight, which is a little bit awkward. You're not supposed to do that. You can actually skip this fight entirely if you have that power up. Also, I'm doing really bad about hitting this guy, which is fine. But again, not a difficult fight by any means. And if you crouch properly, you don't have to worry too much about being hit, which again, I'm doing really bad at. There we go. You start speeding up a little. Oh my, I'm doing really bad. Now, this is why you should concentrate and not commentate and just be like, okay, sit in the corner, everything's okay, just sitting in the corner. Oh, but you look at that, he's just sitting there for us. Right now we're out of energy, so we will have to be careful about that. And I should stand up and go ahead and get a couple of missiles. Now you'll notice, this is one of the things I actually misremembered. I thought the missiles were just one. They are actually... What am I doing? Firing right into the wall. That's not correct. Okay, let me go get more missiles because that was bad. Just come on. Come on, buddy. And that should be it. Nope, one more round. Almost there. I don't remember the last, like, even when I see, like, when I would speedrun this game. Oh, good lord. I'm doing bad. Oh, my. Yeah, so if you had charge shot, this would also be easier, but yeah, I have to grind out missiles. I'm actually going to die here. I apologize. This is what we call poor performance. I'll be right back. You know, this is the game over screen. So I'm about to the same point now. I've just been doing the same thing where crouching in this little corner and waiting, pretty much. The difference is I'm not moving around and standing up randomly, so I haven't been hit actually yet. It's nice when he goes in and just lets us hit him like that as well. And the other thing I did when I came into this room is I made sure I had more missiles, because that's the other thing is usually, I want to say you can have the other power-up that I was thinking about by this point, and because we don't have that yet, you need missiles to actually hit him. Which is important to note, because if you run out of missiles, then you have to be standing up and hitting the little spores there, which is not exactly the best thing when you don't have all that much life, or when you're not paying too much attention to what you're actually doing. See, just barely enough missiles. You know, one of our missiles did get hit by one of the spawns, but we got him. Would you look at that? And everything dies. But if we go up here, we can go ahead and collect all the energy, which we don't need, and only a couple of missiles. And with that, we did it. We beat Spore Spawn. And that's actually where I'm going to end off this episode. I hope everyone has enjoyed watching. Next time, we'll continue forward and, well, get a new power-up. I'm not going to be too ambiguous about that, too, what do you even call that in English? You know, there's a word in Japanese, my, that I'm thinking of, but ambiguous, I guess, is kind of the closest equivalent. Someone in the comments tell me what the word I'm thinking of is. Anyways, I hope you guys have all enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. See you then.